Hello, hello, welcome. My name is Steph. If you'd like to come on and have a seat for some inspiration or symbolic support. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome home. We are going to draw our muse from our influencer, Blot. Link below in the description. We're going to drop some ink in the name of, and we're going to scry for shapes and symbols that may speak to our psyche and psychic senses, creating and curing a little bit of curiosity.
Are you scared?
Not at all. Don't be scared. We'll add on some tarot and oracle, and where you see Mr. GhostTube is, as you've heard, we have GhostTube kick in for any audio additions from the afterlife that may further add to our abstract and ancient auric adventures. Overall, please do receive or release freely. Thank you for your time, attention, and awareness, as your perspective and presence is powerful. Let's go. All right, excuse me, book. Let's grab our muse.
Danielle.
Okay, I feel like you're very loud. I might need to turn that down a little bit. Where are we going? Who is our muse, our kickoff point? Death. Well, there you go. Okay. Thank you to whomever inspired us and submitted this muse. You're welcome to take credit below or not. It's all good. It's all good. Always a reminder as well, you hold the power to put in 2 times speed, pause, replay, revisit as much as you need or like, if my pace or whatnot, whatever. Okay, let's go. Death. Just as a reminder, we're here to create in the name of, less worrying about making a masterpiece. Always feel well to comment below what you see, sense, or feel as your insights do expand the iScry experience. Drop an emoji. Give a girl a like. I appreciate you. Oh, I think I can hear a little man coming up. My cat. He likes to jump on the table. We'll see. I'm hearing the Bob Dylan song, Death Is Not the End. I'll link it below if I remember.
Don't.
Okay, or I won't. When you're ready. Taking a nice deep breath. Closing the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception. Releasing the race and the rush. Activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. In the name and honor of our muse, Death. And for anyone here at any time, may we all meet a message with meaning. All right. If you decide to take a screenshot to scry on your own time, personal use only. Okay. I'm hearing this song from Greece. I got chills, they're multiplying, and I'm losing control, 'cause the power you're supplying, it's electrifying. Did you start singing the other song? Gotta shape up. All right, let's dig in. There is I'm gonna call it, okay, 2 things that's switching on me. So there's 2 different kinds of hammers or chisels. One is like maybe like a chip hammer, or something more specific. And then the other one's larger, almost like a mallet. Thor. I don't know much about Thor, but if Thor means anything to you, it's also turning into a bow.
Make a noise.
A bow. But now I'm seeing somebody look. It's like if their eyeball could turn into a hand and point to say, look up here. Like, look there. Look here. There's also, right in about here, there's a dog that has, or a wolf that has a white right here on their chest. I see you. Give me a moment. There's a house right here. There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children. I don't know. She didn't know what to do. Okay, this looks like a haunted house. Just out of, pure judgment. Kind of like if you could imagine the house from Edward Scissorhands, and like the whole town, if I recall, there are these very specific colors, like I don't know if they're pale or paisley or whatever the case is. Yellows and greens and blues. I think they're more pastel-y in nature, but I could be wrong. So there's all this color, and then up on the hill, like where Edward Scissorhands lives, it's like this, you would think it's like a haunted house. Like there's mystery, there's lore, there's stories that are told, and the townspeople or the survey, oh, it's like a socialized survey of sorts. Okay, so I'm going to keep following Edward Scissorhands. And the one person, like that lady selling makeup,
It's not for you.
wanders up there and she meets him. And imagine if Edward Scissorhands or the house or his maker, somebody in there has like the essence of death. And yet this woman from the survey brings him an opportunity to be reborn of sorts, right? And those are closely associated, death and rebirth. But there's a connection that is made there, nurturing as well, and teaching each other the benefits of being amongst the colors, and also having this misunderstood lore.
False.
Or, yeah, hold on, give me a moment. It's like that haunted look. It's not scary. It's not scary. It actually brings me to a space where I can go out into that survey. Now imagine if that survey where all these people in Edward Scissorhands live, and that is quote unquote the afterlife.
Stupid.
Oh my goodness, you're so insulting, Ghost Tube. If it keeps up, we'll, but again. And here's the thing, though. I want to add that while you're being very, very cheeky and unnecessarily so, but it's understandable of sorts, as death triggers a lot of anger. And it's like being Edward Scissorhands when he walks out into the world. While there might be curiosity or this or that, there's like the bully group, right? And they want to diminish the beauty
Restless.
of said representation. And it takes a certain kind of heart to heed such misfortune of misunderstanding. Okay, so that was that. I'm gonna keep diving in. So that's what that reminds me of. Something about walking with a stone in one shoe. Why? Why do you do that? Take the time to remove stones from the shoe. There's no need to have a reason to be bothered. Okay, so down here I'm seeing a very large plush toy. When I say toy, I mean like stuffed animal. Like one of those ones that would be as like large as your bed or something like that. Like extremely large. Just, there's a regular sized teddy bear, and then like there's these big ones that are just just ridiculously large, but fantastic. And it's like almost like a body pillow, and that's what it feels like. This is the feeling of this. And I don't know if you can see it or not with the lighting. Yeah, there it is a little bit. See the white here? It's like this is the pillow part of it. While this plush in the darkness or of the void, but the what it carves out is like a pillow. I'm traveling with this plush toy dog thing, and I have a turtle friend. This turtle friend is leading me slowly but surely slowly but surely. Okay, so I'm in the movie What Dreams May Come, and when the dad goes over and he's met by his son, but it isn't his son. He's in a different skin because inevitably he says, like, you wouldn't have believed me or you wouldn't have taken me seriously if I came that way. So he chose the skin or the
Dangerous.
presentation of somebody that he respected. And that's kind of what I think, like, in this space of the turtle representing. Okay, so okay, I'm in a contraption of my third eye. And I have all these tools there. Almost like scaffolding of a building of sorts. Like if I was
Spirits are here.
thank you. Not renovating, but adding on to. I feel like I might have just said the word, but now I can't remember the word. I'm already too liminal. Like adding on. So there's all these tools that looks like a renovation is going on because there's an addition. There's an addition going on. So imagine if like your third eye was like a whole town. Even a whole other world, but I'm going to stay with the town for a second, like the Edward Scissorhands. But the house on the top of the hill, like in Edward Scissorhands, has a certain vibe and feel, and then there's the survey around it. So now there's like renovations and this addition being put on, so that not necessarily to have like this one certain aspect maybe of death
You
and
shouldn't
of
be here.
life to paint this haunted house purple and pinks or whatever, and while maybe that's fine, right? It's not about that. It's not about bringing them together to look the same. While that might be an expression of said essence, it's more about understanding where they meet. Okay, I'm beyond the house and I'm walking down the laneway or the walkway towards the sidewalk. And it's like the closer I get to the sidewalk, I'm understanding where we meet. And it might be also seen as like a border. Now I'm in Johnny Cash Walk the Line. You might be if you're here, you might be very connected to
Angry.
states. Maybe you are angry as well if there's a thing going on in different states of living, states of consciousness. It's like everyone being at all these different ages and groups, grades, taking the traditional school system as it's stepping in, and everyone goes out into the yard to play for recess, and you've got kindergartens and grade 8s and grade 12s and university students and college students and trade school students. Everybody has the same recess time to play and do all these different activities with all these different tools. Yeah, that's what that feels like. I also want to know that there might be a sensation through death, that anger. Okay, so I might have a spirit here that's angry that they've passed. And they got to work through the anger because that's what's going to muddle everything. And I mean everything by the point of observing. It's like if I was standing here and the spirit that is with us is trying to communicate, but they're angry, so they come through with very volatile words, which again, insulted by a ghost or an app, it is what it is. Like dead or alive, it is what it is. But it actually shuts down communication. And it's like they're pointing at me, and I'm like, but it's you. Being hostile for the environment. So I'm back in what dreams may come, when the theory of the movie is we create the conditions, right? So him looking for his wife, he's going to go through conditions and to find where it's like preparing, this is where your wife is, and it's a very specific kind of place. So if you don't feel like you know her or can save her, whatever the case is. Okay, so I'm very compassionate. I don't want to sound very douchey in all this, like, oh, but just you're insulting, or because the reflection is through that anger expression, while a very valid emotion, being earthly and non-density, the emotions are what can still communicate and cross those thresholds, right? It's like the winds of that. Okay. I'm in the
Close.
I'm a miner, like 7 dwarves, like mining. Hi ho, it's off to work we go. There's this hybrid, where are you? I just saw you. Okay, in negative space. I don't know if it's like part ostrich, chicken, some sort of emu, like some sort of bird like that. They've got this really big bushy tail, so I do think it's something along that lines.
Bite.
Yeah, but then they kind of look like, I don't think I've ever seen the movie per se, but I think it's popularly depicted of alien. It's like this big alien face with like this long back thing. And this is kind of what I feel like in this moment, is like there's this energy here that is got a certain face on, a very specific face.
Flame.
And this one is kind of like squawking at me. It's like, but you're squawking. So the space of being able to move through that state of grief in relation to death, but I'm not responsible for it. To just hear it and not hold it against me. Okay, so now if the spirit is here and was very angry and irritated, please don't hold it against me as I move through that. Because I'd like to be heard. There's now a puppet in between. This puppet is a happy puppet. It's like creating I can't say my emotions from this face, but I can say it from this face. Because it's from my hand. Okay.
Stupid.
Okay, you're so rude. You're so rude. In the cave of ice. Yeah, see, there's something about trying to be persecuted. Oh, moving on from that. Okay. Hi ho, hi ho, it's off to work we go. So, in the underworld of the underground, where the ashes were placed underground or burned, I kind of want to lean into what may be popular because I don't really know beyond that.
Christopher.
Like the witch trials, different maybe religions or cultures that sacrificed people, places, or things, prosecuted beings for like being the Edward Scissorhands, for being the Frankenstein, for being the Morticia or whatever, and fighting them off. I also want to know if anyone is moving through grief, and hopefully I'm not. You feel I'm holding your hands through the stages of grief, and I'm not, poking, because that's not what I'm doing. But this does kind of feel like I feel like I'm warding off. I'm fighting fire with fire. Fighting fire with fire. Pen to paper. Cave of Winds. There's a hug happening right here between two different spirit forms. So there's no density here. They are two different spirit forms. Their frequencies are different. It's like if even a spirit had a stuffed animal, it's like I can see the texture in the realm of non-density. There's still differences. There's still individuality. There's these things that other expression, space for expression. I was going to say space for, separation, but it's space for self-expression from a soul level or space level. You know me, I read art, so if anything is standing out in the artistry to you, it's a sword of something, and I think this one's a wand.
Farther.
So this is bringing me into me, the maker feel, the maker of Edward Scissorhands or Frankenstein or you or anyone. It's also bringing me into the makeup because she sells makeup. The mom sells makeup. The show Designing Women is coming through. It's been a long time since I've seen that show. All right, let's keep going. If I didn't say so already, thank you for sharing, and subscribing, and for viewing, for watching all the way through. I appreciate that. Definitely helps the algorithm, but also us just word of mouth for sharing and all that kind of good stuff. Coalescing on the sidewalks of Seoul. Oh, I see you there. There is a
I'm coming.
Sphinx bird, maybe angel. Oh, why can't I seem to place this? Here's the wing, here's the face, and here's the breast. Is it this bird? I'm seeing it as a sphinx, but maybe it's whatever the sphinx represents. Okay, so if somebody has lost somebody recently in any stages of the grief, in whatever layer, there's some sort of work that you do, an effort in the sleep state specifically, that leads you to this feels like a man that I enter his heart through and we hug. I think this is the Eight of Wands, but you know, I just would like to take all the things off and just read the art.
Sorry.
No, no, no. Don't be sorry. Okay. This is in the Cave of Hearthfires. I want to note, it's like I've gone from this, swatting and batting all these bugs like a bug zapper, all these different states, and I'm fighting. And I don't know if you receive messages from the underworld. Oh, it's like the Undertaker of the underworld. Undertaker of the underworld. This is not to be confused with what one may depict as hell or purgatory or any other term that indicates discomfort, suffering, or punishment. So it's like the Undertaker. This is really where, and like they're sending messages. Even the underworld, Undertaker sends messages. And then all of these, it's like I realize what I'm making of something, and then they all become into alignment. I almost want to say they're controlled.
Scorpio.
Yeah, Scorpio. Very much so, death. Why did I want to come back to Thor with the thunder there? Okay. Cave of Rivers. So, there's a movie happening, but one of those old-fashioned movies. Movie cameras. Like film. Black and white films, maybe. But it's like our mind still can see color. I'm at the gates. Do you know what it reminds me of? Where was I just a few breaths ago? When
Shot.
vampires bite, or no, they're going to change somebody. Is that what they call it? Ah, man, come on. Anyway. And they bury them, or some, they have to bury them to be reborn as the vampire. It's okay. So the point is, sorry if that was really creepy, eternal life in different landscapes where there seems to be some hard bent rule because of the material world, because of the hardness, right? Like the physicalness of it, that the eternal life, it's almost like it can't be conceived of, that a different density in life continues on. Because we're here right now, and while there are subtleties that communicate, oh, I'm drinking from a pond. And while there are subtleties that communicate through the veil, because really it's like the veil of the mind, hard heads, open hearts and hard heads, hard hearts and open heads. Cave of Earth before we head on over to the flip side. I think that's the Three of Swords. Oh, like we were talking about that vampire thing. Okay, so this is not a death and rebirth, or not a predator and prey situation. Slam dunk, Shaquille O'Neal. Okay, so in the show, Community, on the bottom is something or other. It's infinite. Eternal life already exists. There's nothing to find. There's no fountain of youth to an elixir to take as a promise that will be broken. I also kind of feel like sometimes through the essence of death, or that channel of moving through everlasting existence, we can feel promises are broken. But there's so many things that are said on subtle layers, layers of existence. It's unreasonable to hold somebody on a soul level to when speaking to their earthly self. It's like seeing a child or having a child and they write a letter when they're like
Come
3, or I want for Christmas, or when I grow up I want to be, dot 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 dot, and then holding them to that when they're 18, 25, 34, 88, 79,221 years old. That's what this feels like. Sorry, before I let you go, and I'm going to head over to the Flipside. If you're joining us, the link is in the description box, and if I remember the comment section. In the show Community, Betty White was a teacher of anthropology, and she gave them this box of tools. You're so more than welcome to talk, love. We're right here. Just talk freely. We'll respond accordingly. Or the person that you need to talk to will know it's for them. Anyway, she hands them a box of tools, like from the beginning of the Scry. There's all these tools. And she said the class project is, make the most dangerous tool or efficient tool. I don't know, whatever she says. And inevitably the answer is putting them all together to make one. And that's what makes it the most robust, the most efficient, the most useful, the most. And that's where I'm going to leave that. Thank you, Betty White and the show Community. All right. If you're joining us, I'll see you on the flip side. And if not, till next time, so much love. Thank you to the influencer who supplied us with this news. Until next time, so much love. Bye.